All right. Our Earth is where I live. It is a big round globe. It has frozen North Pole at the top and an icy cold South Pole at the bottom. Our Earth was shaped by water, fire, and ice, and living things. It is always changing, much too slowly for us to see.
Isn't that cool? Water, fire, and ice formed our Earth? Whoa! That's crazy.
Once our Earth was covered with warm water. Some dinosaurs lived in its warm and ferny swamps. Then our Earth turned cold. Huge sheets of slowly moving ice called glaciers crept across the Earth and wore rocks smooth. Glaciers are still moving in places on our Earth.
So cool, and they move really slow. Slower than a snail would move. Sometimes just a few inches a year.
The biggest pieces of land on Earth are continents. Their shorelines meet the sea. Islands are smaller pieces of land that rise up out of the sea.
And now all of this right here is the North American continent. It's made up of Canada, the United States, and Mexico, and Central America. And Leia's from Central America. Hey, Leia.
Some islands are born when volcanoes erupt below the sea. Hot lava cools, and over time it turns to soil where green things can grow. Some islands are coral reefs that grow and grow until they poke above the water and birds bring seeds to them.
That's so cool. One example of islands that are made from volcanoes are Hawaii. All the Hawaiian islands are made from volcanoes. And there's actually new islands forming in the Hawaiian Islands chain. I think there's 5 of them now. And there are other islands forming. They're just still below the surface of the ocean. And they're going to take a really long time to form.
Water gushing up from the ground and rain and melted snow fill streams, ponds, and lakes. Streams flow into small rivers, which flow into bigger ones.
Yeah, like the mighty Mississippi River, the mighty Mississippi, what some people call it.
Nothing can stop water from finding its way. Some rivers dry up and stop flowing, but some empty in the salty sea.
Yeah, I mean, if you even look at when it rains, just look at where the water collects. The water will always collect in the lowest possible spot. It'll find its way through cracks and it'll get to the lowest spot.
The land on our Earth has rounded hills that enclose green valleys. There are many forests on our Earth. Rainforests are full of flowers and birds and monkeys jumping through green-leafed trees.
Ooh, monkeys. I love monkeys. They're silly and they're funny. And they're entertaining.
There are hot, sandy deserts where lizards live and prickly cacti grow. There are dark, damp caves that go far down into the earth.
Yeah, you see, we don't say cactuses, we say cacti. Isn't that cool? C-A-C-T-I.
There are tall canyons carved by years and years of rushing water. There are high, snow-capped mountains reaching up to the clouds in the sky.
Ooh, right off the bat, I think of the Grand Canyon right there. There's a river that flows through there, the Colorado River, that helped carve it. And when I think of mountains, I think of the Andes Mountains in South America, and also the Himalaya Mountains, which run through Austria and then all the way to east to Tibet.
Our big round Earth is very beautiful. It is my home and yours.
Oh, it's our homes. I love that. I love that it's our home. It's where we live. Right? So that's about it for this book. And let's all do our clap symbol. Here's our clap symbol for Maya. Yay, Maya. Yay, Maya. Good job. Maya's going to take her leave right now. She really wanted to be a part of this, but she does have to go because she has a Zoom call of her own to do. I am going to go ahead and continue reading to you now. Here we go. You ready? This one's called It's Earth Day. And I love this little character. He's so cute. I think it's a he. Oh, and that's a girl behind right there. That would be a girl character. I could tell by the bow in the hair, the purple bow. Okay, ready? The pages are stuck together. Okay, here we go. Today we learned all about Earth Day. It is a special day. It is when we celebrate our planet. It's a celebration of Earth. I love it. We watched a movie about the Earth's climate. Climate is how hot or cold it usually is outside. The Earth is getting hotter and the ice at the North Pole is melting. That's where the polar bears live. Yikes! I have to help slow down the melting. And polar bears are having more and more trouble every year because there's less and less ice for them to drift on and to find. And polar bears are very swift, strong swimmers, but they've been finding something lately that they never ever found before, that some polar bears are drowning because there's not enough ice for them to grip onto and to go on to rest. The next morning when little sister was brushing her teeth, I turned the faucet off. Saving water helps the polar bears, I said. I didn't want to take the school bus the next morning, but Mom said the bus saves energy because all the moms and dads don't have to drive their cars. Good thinking, Mom. Yeah, moms are good like that. And dads. After school, my friends and I collected cans, bottles, and newspapers and then took them to the recycling center. We put the money we earned in a big jar to give it to Critterville charity called We Love Polar Bears. And wow, look at all the stuff going on there. That is pretty crazy. That is a cool looking elephant. I love his glasses and his hat. And there's a hippopotamus dominating the scene. The next day was Earth Day. Our whole class went to the park to plant trees. Trees are good for the earth. They help suck up bad stuff in the air. Yeah, they take some of the stuff that's in the air that warms the earth, and they take it in through the leaves. And we learned a little bit about that when we read about trees, the carbon dioxide. It was hard work. Come on, guys, I said. Do it for the earth and for the polar bears. Our teacher thought I should dig smaller holes. We made signs that said, reduce, reuse, recycle. Do you know there's a song? I should send you a link to that song. It goes like this. Ready? Me, 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 me. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's a little better when John Mayer sings it. But, I'm pretty close in talent to John Mayer. But, he might be up here. I might be just a little lower. Maybe right there. I don't know. Just that much lower, right? Okay. We made signs that said reduce, reuse, recycle, and then we put them up everywhere, and you can see the signs are everywhere. So reduce the amount of waste that we have. Reuse, maybe you have something old in your garage that you can reuse and you were thinking of buying a new one, but you could actually reuse that same product. Recycle, right? When we use plastics and stuff like that in cans, we can recycle them. That night I couldn't sleep, so I went to the kitchen for a snack. Then I saw a little sign that said, climate control. I don't know if you've ever seen those little knobs on your refrigerators, but they actually can make it a little colder. Now it has to be cold enough to keep your stuff cold, but if it's too cold, it could be wasting energy too. So that's something to take a look at inside your refrigerator. That's it, I yelled. I know how to save the polar bears. I have to change the climate. How's he gonna be able to change the climate? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Maybe if he puts a fan on and throws it out his front door and blows air into the atmosphere, maybe that'll make it cooler. I don't know. The next morning I got right to work. I made a list just like Mom would do. Next I drew up the plans just like Dad. Little sister helped collect everything on the list. The most important thing was ice. We needed lots of ice. So you see he's emptying all the ice containers. Now, you may not have these in your refrigerator. A lot of our refrigerators have ice makers, but these are old school ice makers right there, where you'd have to put water in them the night before, and then you would put them in your freezer, and then you could twist them and the ice cubes pop out. I put all the parts together. What is it, Mom asked. It's a climate control machine, I answered. It will cool down the earth and save the polar bears. How does it work? Asked Mom. Well, I said, the fan blows air over the ice and makes the Earth's air cooler and keeps the ice at the North Pole from melting, and that will save the polar bears. So it sounds good in theory, but there might be some holes in the science there. We'll see how it all works out. I put a thermometer on top. I waited for the climate control machine to start working, but my ice kept melting, so I had to borrow ice from everyone in the neighborhood. So you see the rhinoceros, the nice rhinoceros lady on the corner, she donated some ice. I worked very hard all day long, but the temperature stayed the same. Finally, after it became dark, it got colder. Hooray! Now, is it getting colder because it's getting colder? Or is it getting colder because it's nighttime? There's no sun out. But the next morning, the temperature went back up. The climate control machine doesn't work, I said. It will never save the polar bears. That's not true, said Dad. Because of what we learned, I turn off my computer at night, little sister turns off the water when she brushes her teeth, and we all turn off the lights when we leave the room. Then Dad added, you and your friends collected bottles, cans, and newspapers to recycle. You also planted trees for fresh, clean air. That made me think. Wow, I said. We are all climate control machines because everything we do can help save the Earth. Don't forget to save the polar bears. And I think I'm going to stop on that